You don't need more time to have more energy. You just need better habits. I mean, just imagine if you could wake up energized, you had energy all throughout the day, and then you even had a little something left at the end of the day for you. You really can do this. It's not about anything other than designing your day to have more energy. And in this episode, we're going to talk about just that, designing your day so you have more energy in these 4 simple habits so you can fuel your mind, your body, and your spirit.
It's time to get set for the season with new Freely styles and colorways you can feel good about wearing every day. Just in time for summer, Freely dropped some of my favorite hero styles like the Haven legging and the James sports bra in new prints and colorways, and new styles like the Lola dress. These looks were made for moving freely all summer long. Text MAGIC to 22369 to get $10 off of $50 when you shop Freely Styles at academy.com.
Welcome back to the Everyday Magic Podcast. I'm your host, Mattie James, and today we are talking all about creating more energy. My friend, you are not lazy, you're just low on energy, and there's a real reason why you're tired all the time. And today we're going to break down the 4 simple habits to use to prioritize every single day so you have more energy, because I've absolutely been there. Actually, I remember literally 2 years ago, it was around this time, I remember May is always a crazy time. And here at the James household, we have been in full May-Cember mode. Christian graduated pre-K last Friday. Mesa is graduating 5th grade tomorrow, and it has been quite a full schedule in May. But like 2 years ago, I remember taking all the kids to school, rushing back home because I had a team meeting, so I still had to do my makeup, I still had to do my hair, so I rushed to get ready, and I remember sitting on my closet floor. I mean, hair was done, makeup was done, I was dressed, my to-do list was full, I was finishing up my 2nd cup of coffee, and I was depleted at 10:20. I just couldn't move. I couldn't move emotionally. I couldn't move physically. And mentally, I had this thought. I was like, you're lazy. And I had to reframe really quick. And I was like, don't be lazy. Push through. But I knew the truth. I'm not lazy. I wasn't lazy then. I'm not lazy now. And I was tired of pushing through. I was depleted. I was overwhelmed. I was bombarded day after day. I had been pouring into everyone and everything without focusing and prioritizing the things that poured back into me. I bet you're a lot like me. Maybe you're at this point right now, and you're trying to figure out why you can't just get it together. And I'm here to tell you, sis, you're not lazy. You're just completely tapped out. You are out of gas. You are depleted. And in today's episode, we are going to talk about exactly how to design your day and how to create habits that allow you to have energy, not only throughout the day, but even at the end of it. There's 2 types of people. There are people who start their day depleted and people who start their day deposited. I actually talk about it in the book. I call it the difference between reactive mode and proactive mode. In reactive mode, you are literally responding to everything that the day is throwing at you, right? You're waking up to people's requests, babe, have you seen my keys? Mom, where's my school uniform shirt? You're just already drained before you even start your day. I have absolutely been there. I go out of my way to make sure that I am up before Chris and the kids nearly every day, even if it's just 15 minutes, because I hate waking up in reactive mode. So the difference is that reactive mode is you responding to what your day is, and proactive mode is you deciding what your day is going to be. And you deserve to decide what kind of day you're going to have. You deserve to decide what kind of life you're going to have. That's the entire point of Everyday Magic. And by the end of this episode, you're going to know how to create more energy to the point of overflow in 4 simple habits so that you are energized mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So when it comes to creating more energy, like I said, you're not lazy. You are very, very likely low on energy. So I'm giving you permission and letting you know that you are the energy architect of your day, of your entire life. If we're being honest, you have what it takes, and you don't have to believe these lies where you're telling yourself you have to push through and you need to get it together. You really, really want to make sure that you are living a life full of habits that energize you each and every single day. I like to call these habits the 4 E's of everyday energy. And the first one is eat, right? Every single day we have to eat, right? Of course, you have the little caveat of fasting, but for the most part, you have to eat to have energy throughout your day. And I'm going to say it because it needs to be said. You really have to redesign your relationship with food. The problem is, especially in first world countries, especially in America, we have treated eating like a convenience that allows us to relieve stress instead of a cornerstone that allows us to create energy. And you have to understand that what you eat becomes the compass of the energy of your day. Honestly, let me say this. You're probably starting your day dehydrated. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that's why I start every single day. I'm like 12 ounces of water before coffee. Yes, I understand that everybody likes to jump up, get their coffee, get their tea, get some kind of caffeine fix. But I am telling you right now that simply just hydrating yourself sufficiently every single day is going to change your energy. It's going to help you get rid of that mental fog. It's going to help you eliminate food noise and all of that. A lot of times you're not hungry, you're just dehydrated. Really? And a lot of times you're not even tired, you're just dehydrated. You know what I mean? You feel tired simply because you haven't hydrated. Your brain doesn't have enough oxygen, your body doesn't have enough oxygen, and that's why it feels like you are dragging. And then the mistake that we often make, because I love coffee like the next person, right? But the mistake that we make is that we just start throwing back coffee, right? I told you 2 years ago, that day where I just could not even move by 10:20 in the morning, I was finishing my second cup of coffee. No bueno. That is not the way to do it. In fact, I like coffee. I like to have my morning cup of coffee, but I'll tell you a little something. If you understand how coffee actually works, and I read about this in this book called Make Time, and they broke down that we are all pretty much caffeinating the wrong way. And you should be caffeinating more intentionally than conveniently. And this is, again, just changing your relationship with food, redesigning your relationship with food, coffee included. So the way coffee works is that it actually is not just this thing that if you put it in your body, if you drink it, you're just going to stay up, right? Have you ever drank coffee and still felt tired? That has definitely been me. So there's these receptors in your body called adenosine. And adenosine is the thing in your body that tells you that you're tired, that tells you that you're sleepy, right? And when it's nighttime and your circadian rhythm slows down, adenosine tells your body that you're ready to go to sleep. When you wake up in the morning and it's not quite light outside yet, right? Maybe you're waking up at 5 or 6, and depending on the season, the sun's not quite out yet, you have a lot of adenosine in your body. And so if you just drink coffee, what happens is that it doesn't do what it's supposed to do to the adenosine. Caffeine actually mimics the molecules that make up adenosine, right? So it actually kind of fools your body into thinking that it's like adenosine. So what it does is, instead of, a lot of people think that it's getting in your bloodstream and just like keeping you up and wiring you. And really what caffeine is doing is creating like a wall to block adenosine from getting into your entire bloodstream for you to feel tired. However, if adenosine is already active in your body and you already feel tired, the caffeine is not going to do what it's supposed to do. The goal with caffeine is for it to create a wall before the adenosine even shows up in your body, right? So ideally, you really want to be drinking coffee by the time the sun's out, when your body's actually up, because adenosine is not going to be active in your body. You're not going to feel tired anymore, and that's when you want to drink coffee. If you're drinking coffee before feeling tired, you drink it at the right time. If you're drinking coffee when you're tired, You're completely drinking it at the wrong time. And what happens is when you drink caffeine, when the adenosine is already active in your body and you already feel tired, what it does is it thinks that your body needs more of that, right? Because again, caffeine mimics the molecules that are adenosine. So what your body does is it creates more of it, right? And what it does is that every time you keep on drinking a bunch of coffee while you're tired, it's just making you more tired, especially if you're putting sugar and sugary creamers and stuff like that, or going to get a sugary coffee drink at your favorite coffee shop. So when it comes to caffeinating yourself, you want to do it a lot more intentionally instead of conveniently. You want to caffeinate yourself usually between 9 and 10:30, and then again at like 12, between 12 and 2. You want to do it before you feel tired. So if you know you're going to get that afternoon slump, maybe after lunch, again, drink your coffee before you have that slump, and you're going to be caffeinating a lot more intentionally. Me personally, I'm not a medical professional, but if I drink anything more than 2 cups of coffee, I'm too jittery. I can't even think, even if I do drink it before I feel tired. So those are things to keep in mind. You also want to make sure you're eating whole foods. Eat a bunch of protein. Protein is going to energize you. It's good for your body. It's good for your muscles. It's good for your brain. It's really good. Eating a high protein breakfast, eating high protein lunch, is going to help you avoid that slump from your blood sugar spiking, because maybe you had a very carby or very sugary breakfast. These are things to really, really keep in mind. So think about your hydration. Think about your blood sugar. Think about how much protein you're taking in. Make sure you're eating whole foods. Make sure you're eating foods that are alive. If you want to feel energized and alive, I submit to you that you want to eat things that are alive, And I want you to really start to unlearn eating for comfort, because my friend, you don't need more comfort. You need more capacity. And eating the right foods is going to help you to get that. Next up is exercise. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, for the longest time, I was always like, I don't really like working out. I hate working out. And I just told myself this story that I wasn't good at it, and that's why I don't do it. And I submit to you that working out isn't supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be effective. Working out isn't easy for anyone, right? But if you make it a habit in your everyday life, you will absolutely get the ROI from it that you need. I genuinely mean this from the bottom of my heart. I don't know if I've ever had a bad day on a morning that I've worked out. When I get up and I start my day with prayer, when I start my day with movement, I don't have a bad day, and I have energy all throughout the day, especially if I'm eating foods to support my workout. And guess what? When you work out, you don't want your hard work to go in vain. So I know when I'm lifting weights in the morning, when I am moving my body, guess what? I'm going to eat foods that make sure my workout does not go in vain. And I think you can do that too. I know you can. In fact, I know you want to work out. I know you want to eat better, but there may be this story that you keep on telling yourself. And I'm telling you now that you have permission to tell yourself a new story. You have permission to tell yourself a new story when it comes to working out. And the energy that you're just wishing that you had is in the workout that you keep on avoiding. A lot of times, and this has been me, right? This has been me. A lot of times I have skipped a workout because I'm like, I'm too tired to work out. I don't have the energy to work out, right? And guess what? Some days you don't have the energy. Maybe it's the first day of your cycle. You don't really feel your best. I get it, right? But on an everyday basis, I'm telling you, if you want to be energized, that workout is going to get you where you need to be. And the workout don't even have to be deep. I'm telling you, even a solid 12-minute workout is fantastic. You guys know me. If you follow me on Instagram, you know on my stories, I am definitely going to have me a little freely set on, and I'm going to get me a 30-minute strength training workout, usually from Grow with Joe on YouTube. She has the best workouts. I really do enjoy them. And for my body and for my goals, they help me do what I have to do. But I'm telling you, she even has this 12-minute workout series that is great. So even if you don't have much time or you woke up late, that 12 minutes is going to make a difference. But guess what? It don't even have to be deep. I'm not telling you to go out and spend a bunch of money on a trainer. I'm not even telling you to go out and force your budget to have a gym membership, right? This is about you moving your body intentionally. This is about you getting 10,000 steps in a day. Moving your body is going to help every single thing. This isn't, because here's what I want to let you know, that working out and moving your body, exercising is not about vanity. It's about your sanity. I'm telling you, from a cognitive standpoint, that mental fog that you're trying to get rid of, it's going to get gone from that workout you do. Right? My brain works better. I am more creative. I am more likely to execute things that are hard throughout the day because I had to push through that last set of reps, And so mentally, it tells you that it sets the tone of you being able to do hard things. Walking 10 steps, I'm telling you, if I'm consistent on walking my 10 steps, that little bit of like belly fat that I'm trying to get rid of, naturally, I'm like less inflamed, less belly fat. I'm feeling good about myself because I got those steps in. So it's definitely from a vanity standpoint, I get it. Being snatched can definitely be one of those benefits from exercise. But to me, it's so low on the list compared to the energy you get, the clarity you get, and also the confidence that you get. So when it comes to you having more energy in your day, prioritize movement, get intentional about it. If this means you just got to throw on a playlist, throw on your favorite 90s songs, throw on your favorite Beyonce playlist, do whatever you need to do. Dance for 20 minutes like no one's watching. And even if they are watching, if your kids are watching and they're laughing at you, have them join in. Have yourself a little morning dance party. But I'm telling you, starting your day with movement sets you and your energy up for success.
You know me, to create energy at the top of my day, I'm going to throw on a Freely set and move my body for 30 minutes before getting my day started. This season, I'm encouraging you to do the same. Wear Freely pieces like a matching set, like this James sports bra or the Haven legging that will keep you energized and looking good during your workout. Available now at Academy Sports and Outdoors and academy.com. Text MAGIC to 22369 to get $10 off $50 when you shop Freely Styles at academy.com.
The next E in the 4 E's of everyday energy is exhale. I'm telling you that you're probably having low energy because you're not breathing. And I know that sounds silly, but you're not, right? Like breath work is a real thing. This is something that I've incorporated in the last couple of months, and it has been a game changer. I truly feel like I have yelled at my kids less. I think I have literally snapped less at Chris. I feel like I'm not angry or resentful or stressed out when I do breath work on a consistent basis. Again, I am not a medical or a breath work professional, but just some deep breathing 5 minutes a day is going to take your day to the next level. What I like to do is for 5 minutes, and I'll just set my timer on my phone, I'll inhale through my nose, and I like to keep my tongue at the roof of my mouth. So I'll inhale and I'll hold. I'll inhale for 4, hold for 2, then I exhale through my nose for 4, hold for 2, and then I repeat. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 2, exhale through my nose again, hold for 2. And honestly, it seems like silly. It seems the first few passes you do it, you're like, okay, I'm just breathing, right? But you're actually getting oxygen to your brain. And I'm telling you, I know that so many of you have been experiencing what most people have been experiencing, which is nervous system fatigue from after the pandemic. Everything was going on. We didn't know if we could go to work. We didn't know if we could breathe near each other, if we could stand near each other. All of our nervous systems were shot. And the quickest way to regulate your nervous system is by making sure your body has oxygen. And taking 5 minutes to do breath work is such an intentional act, such an intentional habit that will give you dividends for hours in your day. This is not an opinion. This is a fact. If you get more oxygen to your brain, you are going to have more energy in your day. It's pretty cut and dry. But here's what also helps me exhale. One incredible habit that you can add, it's free 99, and it's something you can do every day, whether it's sunny, whether it's rainy, no matter what the season is getting morning light. Girl, step outside, let the sun shine on you for 5 to 8 minutes. If it's a sunny day, 5 to 8 minutes will do the trick. If it's overcast, if it's rainy, 10 to 15 minutes will do the trick. But morning light is absolutely a game changer for a variety of reasons. It's even actually studies have shown it will add years to your life, which is incredible. But here's why it's incredible. I would even call this exhale and exposure, because the exposure to morning light is so good for you. Ideally, you're getting morning light within the first hour or hour and a half that you're up. But honestly, if you can get it in before 10 a.m., you're bound to have an incredible day. The reason why this is so incredible is because when you're in the sun, you're releasing serotonin, right? Serotonin is a mood booster, okay? It's going to make you have a good day. You're just going to be happy after you just outside. And here's what I like to do. I like to go outside and get my morning light with nothing else going on, in complete silence. My phone is not on. I'm not scrolling my phone. The only reason why I usually have my phone with me is to set a timer. I'll set my timer for that 8 minutes, or if it's an overcast day, 15 minutes. And a lot of times I'll do my deep breathing. I like to sit on my front porch. But that morning light, y'all, is really so incredible. When you do this, you literally will be like, I'm doing this all the time. It is actually going to make that much of a difference in your day, in complete silence. I don't have music playing. And it seems weird, right? It's like, oh, well, I'm just outside. Yeah, you're allowed to just do one thing. I know that you are multifaceted. I know that if you're listening to this podcast or you follow me, you are a multifaceted woman. You do all the things. You're a mom. You're a side hustler. You're a corporate queen. You're a wife. You're this. You're that. But my friend, you have permission to just go outside and exhale and get exposure to morning light simply so you can feel more like you, because the magic is you. So I just go outside in silence. Silence is golden, by the way. Silence is golden. And what I'll notice is like the birds chirping, or I'll hear the rustling of the wind in the trees. And it is so peaceful. And just buying yourself that 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 15 minutes of peace is so well worth it. The other reason why morning light is incredible for you is because what it's going to do is regulate your circadian rhythm. So you getting morning light is actually going to make you sleepy when it's time for you to go to sleep, because your circadian rhythm isn't thrown off because you've just been in the house, maybe not near morning light all day. So this is also going to help you sleep better as well. So if you're eating the right foods, you're hydrated, you're exercising, you've exhaled, and you've exposed yourself to morning light, you've already set yourself up for success. Then last but not least, the last E of everyday energy is edit. You've got to edit your day to center your magic. You absolutely need to name what is meaningful to you, what's aesthetically pleasing, what's goal-oriented, what's intentional, and what's consistent, because that is unique to you. That's not something I can do for you. That's not something your husband can do for you. That's not even something your kids can do for you. That is something that only you can name. And I submit to you that your magic energizes you. But here's the thing, when it comes to everyday energy magic, I also know for a fact that magic can mean your morning margins, right? Again, a margin is simply creating space for you to get refilled to the point of overflow. Remember, what's in your cup is for you. The overflow is for everybody else. And you get refilled in your margins. So create gaps in your day where you can just get refilled with your morning light, with your morning coffee, with your morning workout, with prayer, right? So you want to edit your day to have morning margins, right? You absolutely want to have aligned tasks. I think one of the tricks of being distracted and being thrown off is like doing things just to say you're busy versus being aligned to the results that you're actually aiming for. So morning margins, aligned tasks, and gratefulness routines. My friend, grabbing your gratefulness journal and journaling for 5 to 10 minutes, set that timer. I'm telling you, these are 5 to 10 minute habits that will change the trajectory, not only of your day, but of your life, if you have the audacity to be consistent with it. When you start your day from a grateful place, you emotionally have the energy to handle everything that's in your day, right? I actually got to read back. I was flipping through my gratefulness journal and I was reading back on it, and I was so filled with gratitude by the time when I was done reading it. I was so genuinely filled with gratitude. And I want that for you because you, my friend, are living in an answered prayer, but you have not had the energy to recognize that. And you deserve to have a day that you recognize that you're living in an answered prayer, even if you have more goals. There's nothing wrong with being goal oriented, right? But your goals should not cancel out your gratefulness. So you absolutely want to make sure you have some gratefulness routines. You want to make sure you fit in intentional movement. And then last but not least, calming closers. I love a calming close of a day. One thing about me, y'all, I'm taking a bath at the end of the day. Them lights is going to be low, if not off. I'm going to have candles on, soft music playing. Our whole house has a calm close, right? When we're done with dinner, we do the reset routine. Kids are in the bath. I yell to Chris. I'm like, Chris, put on the sleep music. We have soothing music playing throughout the house. And that gives us all a cue, right? That it's time to close on the day, shut the day down, right? I like to review my day. I like to touch base with Chris. I like to write in my gratefulness journal because that's a great time to reflect. And I get in the bath. I usually put bubbles or Epsom salt. I light a candle, Sometimes I'll watch an episode of Living Single. Sometimes I will read a book, but I get to regulate my nervous system and shut down the day and get ready for the next day. And you want to edit your day so you get enough sleep to start your morning off great. So many people are focused on the morning routine, which is important. Your morning routine is really powerful. However, the kind of morning you have is based off of how you closed the previous day. So you want to do that calmly.
You're not stuck because you're not working hard enough. You're stuck because you're doing it alone. You're juggling everything: the kids, work, business, home, thinking that if you just push a little bit harder, you'll finally arrive. But what if you're not meant to do more? What if you're meant to do what actually aligns with God's plan for you? The Mattie, James, and More community helps women like you go from scattered to strategic, from overwhelmed to overflow. Here, you'll find the strategy, support, and sisterhood you need to fully show up for your family and your business without sacrificing yourself in the process. You don't need to keep doing life alone. Let's build your life on purpose, with purpose, in community. Join today at mattiejames.com/community.
So when it comes to the 4 E's of everyday energy, you want to make sure you're eating for energy, not for convenience. Make it the cornerstone of your energy. Eat whole foods, stay hydrated, and caffeinate intentionally. Then you want to exercise. Baby, intentionally move. Okay, throw on a Freely set, turn on a Grow with Joe workout, and move your body. Get them 10K steps in, okay? Then you want to exhale, get some breath work going, and then get outside and get your morning light in complete silence. That will change the trajectory of your day. And then edit around your magic. Remember those morning margins, right? Those aligned tasks, those gratefulness routines, intentional movement, and calming close. That, my friend, is how you edit your day. And also remember, prioritize sleep. Part of you calmly closing your day is making sure that you get enough sleep. If this episode resonated with you, I am so happy to hear that. Remember that you can get the show notes over at mattiejames.com/019. That's mattiejames.com/019 to get the show notes. And I want you to take one action today, right? As long as it's not midnight, take one action today to energize you, right? Eat a nourishing meal, right? Say no. Say yes to something that energizes you, right? Not something that's going to bring you comfort, something that's going to bring you energy. Remember, comfort is good for a moment, while energy is good for the day. And that's the difference. You deserve to have more energy in your every single day. You deserve to not live in reactive mode, but in proactive mode. And the way you get proactive is by creating energy on a day-to-day basis. Remember, you're not looking for energy. You're not trying to find energy. You're trying to create energy. And you have to decide to do that each and every day. My friend, I hope that this episode blessed you. I will see you next time here on the Everyday Magic Podcast.